the forest from the beginning of the Let's Play. Do we get a sense of deja vu going here? I would assume we would. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is RRPG here, and welcome to another episode of RRPG Let's Play that covers Tales of Phantasia on the Super Famicom. In today's episode, we are going to visit the Tree of Life once again.
Yeah.
And then we are going to make our way north towards Phantasia to try to set things straight by going there to try to get to Alvinista, but we are going to get sidetracked a little bit. But anyway, let's get on with the episode that's already in progress. And as you can tell, we are back in the Spirit Forest once again, which is in the year 4202. So yeah, this is the past version of the Spirit Forest. And notice how it's kind of like autumn, you know, or it's kind of autumn-like because of the trees falling and whatnot. And now, when you're here in this time zone, when you're fighting against these enemies, they do not change, except I mean, there's no different enemy variations except for the, I mean, well, not except for nothing, but but none of the enemies in this area have changed from the first time period when we were here. So you can fight these if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because they are pretty much a cakewalk if you're already at a good enough level as you already are. And as Clarth was showing us right there, that is what he was doing was the Sylph's summon. And that is Clarth's specialty in this game. He can summon the spirits of monsters in order to fight for his sake. So yeah, this is what he was trying to do, you know, as magic to, you know, for a human to learn magic. But yeah, it's the only alternative that humans have right now. But of course, he's not the only summoner in the Tethe'alla timeline, but you'll see what I'm talking about in Tales of Symphonia. Okay, here is the Tree of Life, and it looks kind of deteriorated if you take a look at it. Yeah, it's not lush and green like it's supposed to be. And there's that lady we saw in the beginning of the LP who was shown guarding that dead tree or whatever. And the spirit says, can you see me? Can you hear me? But yes, we can hear and see her within that vortex. And she's going to explain to us, her name is Martel. Kind of seems familiar, doesn't it? Oh yeah, Tales of Symphonia, but you'll see what I'm talking about once we get to the end of that LP. Martel tells us that the powers of magic and mana resort from in that one tree that she is guarding, the Tree of Life, Yggdrasil. And Martel says that if the tree dies, magic and mana will cease to be, as she will explain that, you know, that the vast consumption of mana within this world is causing the tree to wither away. So, yeah, when we're in this time period, something tells me that our main mission is going to be to restore mana within the Tree of Life, so that way we can have magic on our side when we go back to the present time to fight against Daus, so everything is starting to connect together. And Martel says that mana is required for magical spirits, such as the summon spirits, and magic to be used. That way they can be properly used, because if mana is depleted, they cannot even use magic or summon spirits or whatever. So, in other words, we will never be able to defeat Daus because magic will cease to be, and Clarth says that all his research would have been for naught if mana were to be depleted. But yeah, it's like I said, everything's starting to connect. And Clarth had so many questions he wanted to ask Martel, but she had to go. So hopefully we can speak to her again sometime. And Mint has a devotion that she is going to try and heal. Well, not try. She is going to save the World Tree Yggdrasil, or the Tree of Life Yggdrasil, from dying. So as we can tell right now, the tree is still dying at the moment, and Mint is not as skilled or as strong as her mother, Meryl. So, yeah, she's gonna have to grow in character in order to learn the strong spells that her mother had before she obtains them. And we also need to find out what is eating up all the mana and try to stop it. But we don't even know what's eating up all the mana. But I think there's something that will tell us otherwise. And Clarth is telling us that we need the Moonstone Ring to form a contract with Luna, the summoned spirit of the moon, so that way she can help us in our fight against Daus. But it's in the Moria Gallery, but it's under Alvanisia's jurisdiction, so we are going to go to Alvanista to get permission to try and enter into the Moria Gallery. So let's go ahead and head north. And here we are back in Harmon Village. But as we take a look at Harmon Village, it has been destroyed. But aside from the last time, when we were here the last time, the town was very lively, but now it has been destroyed to an utter mess, like Totus was in the beginning. And there is a girl here who's standing here all of a sudden, and she has long pink hair. She looks awfully familiar, but yet she seems very subtle. And the girl says that the village was attacked by a sorcerer by the name of Dimitel, or whatever. And Kless says that he must pay for what he has done to this village. But Clarth says that it's none of our business, but Mint says otherwise, as she agrees with Kless, because they both feel that the same thing, you know, that since the village suffered the same fate as Kless's hometown as Totus, that Kless must do everything in his power to try and, you know, right the wrongs, or try to make up for what he has, for the weakness he has portrayed. So, well, hey, how can you blame a guy for being weak in the first place when he wasn't even as strong as his father to begin with? So, yeah, we are gonna help this girl, by all means. And Clarth finally agrees to it, and he senses that the girl has a magical gift within her, and she reveals her name as Leah Scarlet. And saying that she has a magical gift on her, could it be possible that she's a elf? I mean, not a elf. Is she an elf or a half-elf? I don't know. It's kind of strange. And here we are in the port city of Venezia. And for me, this is the second time coming here, but this is the first time for all of you guys. And yeah, it's a very big trade city that we can come to every now and then in case if we need to go to different ports or whatever, you know, when taking the boats here at this place. Now, if we go to City Hall here, one of the locals will tell us about where Dimitel is located, and that he is a half-elf wizard. And he is located on the western island that's just west of Euclid, or northwest, or whatever, or west of Harmon Village. But before we take a boat to head west, or head to the western island, look who's inside the inn. It's what's her name, Nancy. Yes, so we can resume a little bit more of the side quests that we were, you know, that we were doing from before. So we're gonna help Nancy meet Elwyn for the first time, and we're gonna go ahead and head over to City Hall, or not City Hall, but the trade company of where Elwyn is located, and that way we can ask him to visit Nancy for the first time, and so that way they can get to know each other a bit more. And here we are talking with Elwyn, and we tell him that that Nancy is here, and Mint suggests that he go and meet her, and he finally agrees. So we're gonna go tell Nancy, but before we do so, let's go over to the balcony of the president's office in the trading company building, and we get ourselves a protect ring. But protect rings and resist rings, I think they are the items that will break. Will have a 99% probability of breaking when used only once in battle, so I don't tend to use those very often, but if you do, then I won't try to stop you or anything like that. But yeah, they're not, I don't really find them to be that useful. Okay, let's go tell Nancy that Elwyn will wait for us at the fountain. Okay, she is gonna go take care of some stuff, and then she can go visit Elwyn for the first time. So now it's time to... What was keeping us away from the door? I don't know. Now let's go meet up with her at the fountain. And she is wondering if he will ever show. And yes, he does. So, we are going to leave these two alone for a while. So, we'll come back here much later and see how things are holding up between those two. So, right now, let's go ahead and pick up some newer items and equipment while we're here. And then we should make our way over to the Western Island. Since I already picked up the spear the last time I was here before I cut off to go to the Long Valley, I did not visit the item shop, or not the item shop, but the armor shop. So we're going to go pick up some new armor for our characters, specifically Kless, I think. And not only that, we will get another swordsman book, if memory serves me correctly. And getting the swordsman book here, it should be the Tempest skill. Yep. And teaches us for a reasonable 3,000 gold or gold. Yeah, you consider that to be reasonable, but other than that, we learn Tempest finally. Okay, yeah, there's some pretty good armor for Kless here. So let's go ahead and equip some of this stuff, or buy some of the stuff for him. And when we went in the Long Valley, we did get a bunch of gold, you know, fighting all the enemies because, you know, of me cutting and stuff. But that gave us a lot of gold in the first place. Or Corsica, or Corsica, or Corsisque, or whatever the spear's called. Why did I call it Cortesque? Or, I don't know, but who cares? But yeah, we finally got some really good armor for Kless here, so I think we should be able to head to the Western Island now. But we could stop by the item shop and pick up some items, but I wouldn't really, well, I'm not going to do it really, but if you want to, you can. It doesn't really matter. And we still have those rune bottles on us, and something tells me we're going to find some more herbs, you know, when we go to that island. And I believe so. So, yeah, keep those rune bottles on you. Okay, let's go ahead and head back out. And then we should be able to head to the northern docks, to where we can take a boat to go to the West Island, or the Western Island, or whatever. Why are we going to the south end? Going to the south end will take us to the boats that go to Alvanista, but we do not need to go to Alvanista. Oh, right. We want to stop at the item shop first. Why not? Okay, let's go ahead and buy some more apple, orange, and mixed gummies. Now, you can get lemon, pineapple, and miracle gels in this game, or gummies as they call them, but you have to have rune bottles on you in order to make them, as they're not available in item shops anywhere, unlike the first game. I mean, unlike Tales of Symphonia. So yeah, you're gonna have to make them from scratch in this game. And it's really kind of a pain too, because you can buy rune bottles much later on, but they're at a ridiculous price. So you're going to be wanting to do a lot of fighting within this game if you want to get a lot of them. But it's not the same to say that you will gain more gold when you fight the harder enemies in the game, as you absolutely do, and you'll get much more gold later on. Okay, here we are at the harbor, or the north docks of the harbor, and Kless says that they need to rent this ship so that way we can go to the West Island. And as the captain calls it, Demetel's Island. And it will take at least 1,600 gold for the travel, because there are 4 people, and each person costs about 400 gold in expenses to take, you know, to be taken care of in order to go on this trip. So yeah, we are going to go to Demetel's Island right now, but I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop this episode to where it is. So next time on Double RPG, let's play with Tales of Phantasia on the Super Famicom. We are going to go into Demetel's Island fully to stop Demetel and avenge Leah's parents. So anyway, if you have not done so already, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter with the links in the description, as well as check out Mr. Retro Kid 91's YouTube page, as where Insatiable Gaming has started between me, him, and some other people. And if you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe to my channel and leave comments below to let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Anyway, take care of yourselves, gamers, and I'll see you next time. See you guys then.